So by now you've probably heard enough of me clamoring on about how important crossovers are. Subaru knows this with the current Forester becoming one of the company's top sellers throughout the years. I'm at the 2018 New York International Auto Show and this is the all-new 5th generation. As you can see, it doesn't look all that different from that 4th generation model back there, but let's take a first look anyway. So here in the States, the Forester is easily one of the top first or second top selling models, right behind the Outback. So an all new version is very critical to the brand. And you can see they took a very evolutionary design to the actual styling. The front end has a lot of the traditional Subaru styling elements here. You have the signature hexagonal grille here with a kind of a dark chrome finish. One thing I really like what they did is they made LED headlights standard on every trim level, even the base model. Now, speaking of the trims, this one is a new sport trim level. It is new for 2018 or 19. It kind of slots between the premium and the limited. It kind of gives you its own unique accents here with the orange accents on the lower front fascia on the side, kind of the blacked out accents with the headlights and the lower fascia with the LED fog lights. It's a really nice looking design. I just wish it kind of looked a little different. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just, it's hard to tell that this is the new model. Now, when you're actually looking at the platform, this is on all new platform versus the previous generation. It now rides on the Subaru Global Product Architecture, which is the same product architecture as the Impreza. And you can see here, they lengthened this vehicle about an inch or 1.2 inches in the wheelbase just to give it a more aggressive stance. Now, most Foresters will come with 18-inch wheels. These are the specific ones to the Sport. The base model has 17-inch wheels. You can't go any larger than an 18. They do look nice. Now, what Subaru Foresters have always had was probably the most ground clearance in the class. You still have about 8.7 inches of ground clearance, which is definitely good. It gives the Subaru Forester a little bit of off-road capability considering this has the symmetrical all-wheel drive as standard equipment. Now, at the rear, this is where you're going to notice the biggest changes to the Forester. It's got a very uniquely styled rear end, which I'm still kind of getting used to it. It's very different with this big black piece here with these LED taillights. It's certainly much more distinctive. I do like the orange accents, the contrast on this particular one with the white. And then what Subaru really did here is they improved the rear cargo area significantly. First of all, what they did is they widened the actual opening by like 5 inches, so you could technically put like a golf bag here kind of just into this without actually having to tilt it. And they also increased the actual space. This is now rated at around 76 cubic feet of cargo space if you fold down the seats. And it also has a very deep floor and lots of space. Honestly, this is probably, just when I'm looking at it, one of the most spacious in the segment. So this is going to make a lot of owners or prospective buyers very happy when they look at this at the dealership. So underneath the hood of the latest Forester, I have some good news and some bad news. First of all, you enthusiasts out there are going to be sad that the turbo is gone. Subaru said that most people ended up buying the base engine anyways, which they did update for 2019. This is the same 2.5 liter Boxer Flat 4, which has been upgraded. It now has direct injection. It has a higher compression ratio, and it makes more power, about 12 horsepower more, now rated at 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque, only a 2 pound-foot torque increase. Now, Subaru says this power plant is mated to a new Lineartronic CVT, which is smoother. It has 7 virtual ratios through the paddle shifters, and fuel economy has also been improved. It now gets up to 33 mpg on the highway with symmetrical all-wheel drive as standard, which makes it one of the better ratings in the segment. But without that turbo, I'm kind of sad, but I'll reserve judgment until I actually drive the vehicle, but at a later date. But let's take a look at the interior and see some of the changes Subaru's made. So on the inside of this all-new Forester, thankfully the interior does look all new, although they did take a lot of elements from the current Impreza, which is not a bad thing. Subaru's been working on updating their interior quality, and it really shows in this all-new Forester. You can see the dash has the same kind of faux stitching that's in the Impreza with this very interesting texture right here on this part of the dash. It's all kind of soft touch. Even on the door panels here, it's soft touch. The window switches, they feel nice and sturdy, and there's some nice soft padding here. Now, in terms of the features, Subaru has upped the safety features significantly. See these right here? This is for the eyesight cameras. It's standard across every trim level of the Forester. Previously, Subaru was kind of making you pay extra for the top trim and then adding like a safety package, so Subaru now includes it as standard equipment. Now, in terms of features, this is the Sport model, and it kind of slots between the premium and the limited, so you do get push-button start. That's included on the Sport, Limited, and Touring, optional on the Premium, which Subaru still kind of is slow to add as standard equipment. And I do like the power driver's seat. The seats are very comfortable, and a Subaru hallmark is always excellent visibility, and they honestly have kept that here. You have really great sight lines throughout. There's a nice big mirror here. The side mirrors are huge. You have a nice, good commanding view of the road. And in terms of the infotainment system, this is the latest Subaru Starlink infotainment system with their 8-inch touchscreen. It has Android Auto. It has Apple CarPlay. Dual zone automatic climate control is included on most of the upper trims, where a single zone is on the base model. And then of course the transmission selector, this controls the CVT, the linear-tronic CVT. You still have heated seat controls here, which do look like they've been pulled from older Subaru products. And you can still get a heated steering wheel on the Touring, but no cooled seats. Now most models also will have this big panoramic sunroof above me, which is definitely nice. The Forester was one of the first vehicles to actually include that. But overall, I think the front seats, if you've been in the new Impreza, you're going to find this very familiar. It still feels roomy. But let's hop in the back and see how the space is on this new model. Now for the rear of the Forester, the new model, as I said earlier, they stretched the wheelbase by about 1.2 inches. And Subaru added it in the rear seat. They said they've expanded the legroom here, and now it's around 39 inches, which is pretty close to what I experienced in the new RAV4. Unfortunately for Toyota, I feel like the Forester actually feels more spacious in here. It has a similarly flat floor. There's a really good foot space underneath here. I mean, you could easily put like a child seat back here without any worry of the the driver's seat hitting the actual child seat. But you can see here, good storage. The materials are hard touch plastic as opposed to the soft touches in the front, although it's nice and padded right here. In terms of features, there's a armrest here that folds down. You have power outlets, 2 of them with 2 air vents. There's also 2-level storage here for the map pockets. And overall, it's a pretty nice place to spend time, so it's very class competitive. Now, when can you purchase the new Forester? Subaru says it'll go on sale later this year. They didn't actually have any time frame yet, with no pricing yet announced either, but I imagine it's going to be a little bit more expensive than the current generation when it does. For Redline Reviews at the 2018 New York International Auto Show, I'm Sofyan Bey. A little more unique.
I feel like maybe Subaru has really... Thanks, man. You just knocked my camera. Please be careful where you're going. Oh, Jesus.
Has a really tight budget sometimes.